you get the loaded gun?
That was my grandfather's. He passed away a year and a half ago in May.
Okay.
Yeah, and then, well, my grandfather made it, so he took it as a memorial,
Something to remember the grandfather by?
Yes.
And you said something about he actually, after he had the gun in his possession after your grandfather's funeral, he had applied for a firearms acquisition certificate?
That's correct, yeah. And he got it, I think he got it sometime during the summer.
This last summer or the summer before?
This summer.
This summer. And obviously there's going to be kind of concern if he got this summer. Some people would say there'd be two sides of the coin. Some would say, well, maybe he had intentions back in summer to make use of his handgun or his shotgun. But is it fair to say that if he had the access to a gun and he wanted to use it without anybody knowing, why would he even apply for a firearms acquisition certificate? So what I'm asking you is, did he ever explain to you why he'd even want an FAC?
Well, he just wanted to make sure everything was legal with my grandfather's gun. Didn't want it to be taken away,
Did he ever, from your understanding, did he ever verbally threaten any of the hostages?
No. No, not at all.
Because the media reported that he was the one who made the 911 call as soon as he took him to the 8th floor. He wanted to let the police know what was going on. And apparently, from what the information out there is saying, he tried to handle this as peacefully as possible, according to the police, right from the get-go.
Well, that's what I understand, yeah, from what I read. And talking to Patrick, nobody was in any harm. Most of them actually didn't want to leave.
That's who you heard from, either Patrick or...
From Patrick.
Most of them didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, and I also heard on just a brief taping that the couple of the hostages that were there, they said that they weren't in any harm. Everything was okay. Patrick just wanted to be heard. Get his story out there, not just for himself, but for the thousands of other people that are going through the same thing. He was cut off probably about 7 months now. And
so he's living off nothing, fresh air.
Yeah, exactly. He did come and work with us a few times, but...
How did he handle trying to work with you over the last... you said that he had worked with you on a couple of occasions, only a handful, over 7 months. How did he seem to handle that work?
Not very good. No, he came home after work and he was always in the tub. His knee was giving him some problems and stuff. And
so it was hard for him to maintain at work?
Yeah. Yeah. He had suffered through it for what he had to do, and then he was pretty much all done when he got home.
And why didn't he just go to social services?
He told me that he tried to, but they told him that he still had an ongoing W.C.B. claim, so they were not accessing anything.
So he did try to actually get social services?
Yes, he did. He tried.
And if it's feasible to say that social services allowances may even be more than $495 per month.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what it is. I think it's probably around 5 or something.
When you talk to your brother on the phone from remand nowadays, what's his general position? What is he saying to you generally?
He'll break into tears and stuff, and he's a kind-hearted person. He feels really sorry for what he did. None of the people were in any harm, but at the same time, he does, for what his actions and stuff were, he feels pretty bad about it.
He feels bad to whom, though? To the people that he took hostage, or that he let down his son, or he let down his family? Well,
it's a combination of all of those.
Does he ever mention the people that he took hostage?
Yeah, he says that he felt bad for them, at the time of the initial taking, but throughout the day and stuff, they didn't even want to leave him.
From Patrick's perspective, when he talks to you on the phone, he had a bit of a bond with those people.
Oh yeah, because they all heard his story, and and they felt bad for him. He just wanted to get the media's attention to let them know what W.C.B. is doing to not Patrick, but to quite a few other people that are out there. So I would think that he didn't do it just for himself.
How's your mother and your grandmother handling all this?
Well, they're okay. They're praying for him every day. they feel bad as well. You know, we all do. But at the same time, everybody's praying for him, hoping for the best.
And does your mother or your grandmother ever speak their opinion of what they think caused Patrick to do this?
Well, they're saying the same thing that I did. You know, a person jumping through hoops so many times, you know, something's about to crack, you know. And like we said, we didn't think Patrick would ever do something like this because he's not like that. But I guess a combination of not seeing his son, being cut off, having no source of any income whatsoever, I guess
Make a person snap.
I would think.
Do you believe the hostages will come forward during trial and speak truthfully about the event and how Patrick treated them?
Well, I would hope so. Like I said, a lot of them were giving him a hug when they were going. You know, some of them didn't even want to leave. So I would imagine that they all knew that, like, Patrick's not a violent person at all. So
You think
they knew that.
You think they knew that?
Oh yeah.
He's just that type of person?
Oh yeah.
So in your opinion, he never would have even considered harming any of them?
No, not at all. No, he wasn't. Like I said to the police officer, he wasn't going to harm anybody or himself. That's just what he's like, right? But he wasn't doing it for himself. He's doing it for, like I said, the thousands of people out there that are going through the same thing. I would imagine if something doesn't happen soon, if something like this could get worse.
That's I guess what everybody worries about, is that somebody does go crazy one day and hopefully doesn't go into West Eddmonton Mall and blow a bunch of people away to get hurt.
Yeah, that'd be insane.
But that's the fear a lot of people are having, is that sooner or later somebody's going to do something a lot more drastic.
Well, I know that Patrick, he's not a violent person, and he was just trying to get hurt. So I'm kind of glad that he did it the way he did it, rather than somebody else going in there. But at the same time, I wouldn't condone anybody else doing something like this. You know, maybe what Patrick did will open up somebody's eyes and get things going.
And maybe in possibility, maybe what he did will actually eventually save some lives.
Well, I would think if they look at this seriously. And like I said, whatever they did, I think it was cruel. But that's just my opinion.